There it is. Perfect. Alrighty. Welcome back to another episode of the Lookout Podcast, Christmas special here. Merry Christmas, everybody. Appreciate you tuning in. And I got my dad here, Keith Barrett, got my older brother, Caleb Barrett, and my little brother, Zach Barrett, here for a special edition. And was able to get my dad in and talk to him because to loop back in on this, I had my friend Travis Hall on a little while ago, editor for Field and Stream. And we had teased the story about my dad saving a few folks when he was out duck hunting. And, if you want to kick us off there, Pops, start us off with the story.
Well, I was probably about 20 years old, and it was the day after my birthday. I woke up all hungover. And
as one does.
And my wife said, "You promised your little brother you'd take him duck hunting." So I did. I cowboyed up. Went, picked him up. We went out to the lake.
What year is this, Pops?
Yeah,
I'm saying
80-something or
79, probably.
Oh,
1979, because I was just early in college, and we went.
Still running at the time, huh?
Yeah. So we went out. Beautiful day. The lake was like glass, and we got decoys out. Got in the blind, getting set up, and in the dark, we could see this boat going by, and it was a very small boat to be on that size of a lake, and there were 4 young fellas in it.
Is it like a small John boat?
It was a very small John boat. I'm talking like an 8-footer.
Oh, damn.
Maybe 10-footer, but it was way smaller than mine, and when it got rough, mine seemed awful small, but the lake blew up. It was in November, and it started snowing sideways, whitecaps rolling, and they started out to head home, and I thought, this isn't good. That boat is not made for this. And they didn't make it 60 yards from the blind, and that thing went under. And I thought, these guys are going to be in trouble. So I jumped in the boat, started heading that way, left my little brother and my lab at the blind, because I figured there's 4 of them. I don't know how well my boat would do with the 4 of them soaking wet and myself. And my boat was under horsepowered, but I got out to them.
Little tiller steer, little outboard motor, like.
Oh, antique.
Antique.
Antique. It was a Mercury Super Silent 6. Had no reverse, just forward and neutral.
That's all I needed.
Yeah, but it still moved the boat.
Yeah.
And went up to the blind. There was 2 guys swam back to the blind. They were hanging on the blind, and I saw one guy was hanging on the boat, drifting away, and I knew for the moment the 3 of them were all right. And I did not remember that there were 4 of them. I just knew there was a boatload of guys in this boat, and they kept yelling to me, "Save Bill, save Bill." And they were pointing, and I just kind of motored in the direction they were pointing, and at the last second, I saw this guy's face about a foot under the water, and he was going down, and I just let go of the motor, jumped to the side of the boat, reached in, chin up to the waves, and I got a hold of his sleeve.
Just by like the cuff, right?
Just, yeah, the very bottom of the cuff. I mean, because he wasn't reaching for anything anymore, but I was lucky enough to grab his jacket, pulled him up, got his chin over my gunnel, and my boat's going around in circles.
Because the motor's still going.
Yeah, it was still in gear. I just made a grab for the guy, and he was a big kid. He was on the wrestling team. I think he wrestled 195. And
then he's probably a goose down, cold gear on too, right?
And pockets full of shotgun shells.
Oh, man.
Yeah, shit.
And I took and got his chin up over the gunnel, got both of his arms over the gunnel, so he's kind of hanging on there. Grabbed a hold of his hood to keep him up, got back to the motor, and I motored back with him just draped on the side of my boat. He was done in. He was exhausted and just barely half conscious. And I got to the guys on the blind. One guy grabbed onto the front, the other guy grabbed onto the side of the boat, and I said, "Don't try to climb in here." I go around the boat, the opposite side of your friend, and hang your weight on that, because I got to try to pull him in and I don't need the boat tipping over. You got to keep it level. So he did that. I mean, poor guy's teeth were clattering. He was freezing.
Yeah.
And but he did what I told him. I said, "You do what I tell you to do, or we all might die." And I drug his buddy. I remember his name was Bill because they were coaching him on. They were yelling his name, and I think that's the only way I found out his name because they were just yelling, "Bill, help him," because I'm trying to get the kid to help me get him in the boat. So I finally flopped him in the bottom of the boat, got him right in the center, and then I told the kid in the front to climb right over the front, get in the boat, and then he and I leaned to the other side of the boat so the other kid hanging on the gunwale could climb in. And now I've got 3 inches of water in my boat and 3 wet guys. And I thought, there's no way I can go get that third guy hanging on the boat. And by now he's drifted a quarter mile away.
So you're drifting away.
And just fortunately, it was a boat came by, a nice big a walleye boat, a Lund walleye boat. I don't know if they were actually fishing or just out running the gas out of it one last run before winter. And he went by and I flagged him down. He come over and asked what the problem was, and I said, "Go get that kid hanging on that boat down there." And he just immediately just took off. And that was the last I saw of them. And I was just hoping that I get these kids to the lee side of the island we were hunting on before I took a wave over the side. And once we got to the lee side of that island, then I was much more comfortable and confident that I'd get to shore. And got to shore and got those guys in the front cab of my truck. They just piled in there like cordwood because the door wouldn't even close. I told them, "Don't worry about the close because the door closing because their legs were hanging out. Don't worry about it." They ran up. My folks lived, I don't know, 200 yards from the shore.
Well, and they're probably so cold their hands weren't even working anymore, probably, huh?
Mine weren't either.
Yeah, I bet.
Because I pulled in, and my dad was walking along the garage on the sidewalk, and he knew something was wrong, and he was on his way to work. And I said, "Dad, you got to help these guys. They're in a bad way." So between Dad and I, we got him in the house. My mom got him in the shower and started thawing him out slowly. And I couldn't even unzip my jacket. My hands were so numb.
Jeez.
And I started warming him over the toaster. And my upper body was all soaked, so I got some dry clothes on. And it was probably pushing an hour since I left the blind with my youngest brother and my dog.
I was saying they're still out there?
Yeah. So I had to go back out there, and I'm just going to go back and continue hunting. I went out there. I sat in the blind for about 20, 30 seconds, and I just thought, what are we doing?
Miserable.
We're getting out of here.
Yeah.
We are getting out of here. Shot one duck. I thought I was going to lose my dog because he went out there to retrieve it, and I just see his head popping up over every whitecap. Then he come back. I says, "No, we're gathering up the decoys, and we're getting out of here." By the time I got home, those 3 boys were gone. And before I left my folks' house, they all returned with their mothers to thank me for what I did for them.
Oh, very cool.
And I just thought, I did what I hope any other fellow hunter would do.
Yeah, any good sportsman.
What had to be done. You know,
Yeah.
if I don't do anything, they're going to die. And, the apology wasn't necessary, but it was appreciated.
Yeah. Yeah, I appreciate the effort. And not that you're going to stay out there much longer anyways with the weather turning like it did,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it got nasty. The snow was just blowing sideways. It was a wicked November day, just like probably what put down the Edmund Fitzgerald.
I was going to say, yeah. Man, that would, it's kind of funny because that Edmund Fitzgerald thing went around pretty big this year on social media because, everyone's saying, wait for your Christmas music till December because, was it Gordon Lightfoot's Edmund Fitzgerald season?
Yeah.
And if you go to Minnesota, that's for sure, man. It's on the radio all the time. And, but yeah, I'm kind of fortunate, too, that Grandma and Grandpa are also, first responder trained. They're EMTs, right?
Yeah.
And they got a lot of business on the ski hill. It sounded like when you were growing up.
Yeah, broken legs, arms, but they were also first aid instructors.
Yeah.
And matter of fact, at the ski area, my mom was working behind the ski school desk because they were both ski instructors, and a fella just keeled over right in front of her.
Oh shit.
And she went running out around there, and the fella wasn't breathing, and she got him going again, resuscitated him, and got him going again. Never saw much of him. Come to find out, he was a senator or something from Washington.
Oh whoa.
And she got some kind of I wouldn't call it award, but like a thank you thing from the White House for saving his life, and
Yeah.
she was very proud of it.
It was awesome. I remember she had hung in the house there, and I remember, checking it out every time I drove by or walked back, because I'd forget about it. Then I'd be like, oh, yeah, I forgot Grandma did that. That's awesome.
Yeah, she never forgot. It was like
Yeah.
she could tell you the story like it just happened 10 minutes ago.
Oh, it was great, too. Yeah, because I didn't, I wouldn't read it. I mean, I'd start reading a little bit of it, but then I asked Grandma, because I'd rather hear it from her anyways. She was great at telling stories, and, like you said, she could remember it just like it happened. You know?
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, and she wouldn't sauce it up or anything. She'd just tell it the way it was.
Yeah, telling gospel, as they say.
Yeah. Exactly. But, yeah, she had no idea that, that...
Who the guy was? Or
Exactly. She was just doing what she was trained to do and what needed to be done, and I guess he was an important guy.
Yeah, well, both your folks, my grandparents were really good at, like, not, they talk about, like, pausing when shit's hitting the fan, and, like, kind of, like, having that long pause and not reacting, and Grandma and Grandpa seemed like they were pretty good at reacting and, reverting to their training when it came to being on the ski hill,
Yeah, just going into action.
Mm-hmm. Well, then, with your deal, too, like, Ducks Unlimited found out about it, or?
Yeah, one of the writers from Ducks Unlimited, he was friends with some fellow duck hunters of mine, and he got they told him the story, and he wanted to interview me. So I sat down with him and just told him the story, just like I just told you, and I never knew it was going to end up in the Ducks Unlimited magazine. And the parents of the boys that I had saved, they were appreciative, and they bought a year's membership to Ducks Unlimited, which included their banquet and a dinner. And I wasn't going to go because at the time I couldn't spend the money. I was just a college kid.
Yeah.
But my fellow duck hunters, they're two twins, they said, you got to go. And then they finally told me, he says, we got your ticket. We got you a ticket. They didn't tell me the whole story because they wanted, I guess, surprise me. And so I went to the banquet looking like some kind of farmer in bib overalls. And then I found out that they were going to honor me by Ducks Unlimited was giving me a plaque for doing what I did. And it was a surprise, and it was an honor.
Yeah, it's super
It was a big
cool.
honor.
Man. Well, those banquets are just awesome in general, to be able to attend one like you said, and then, getting honored there is amazing.
Yeah.
Just incredible. Well, there's that plaque. I think you showed it to me. The illustration's pretty cool. It's like your arm reaching down in the water and the fella sinking his arm up, right?
That was the depiction in the magazine.
Oh, gotcha.
And
that was cool, though. That's a cool illustration, huh?
yes, they even put bubbles in it, but
Yeah.
But the plaque, it was the Ducks Unlimited logo, the duck head, and then if I remember right, the plaque said, let me think, for his selfless concern for his fellow sportsmen, we honor Keith Barrett with blah blah blah. And
Yeah. Man, that's awesome.
It was nice. It was a neat honor. It was unnecessary because I did what I hope anybody would do. But
if you weren't there, that old Bill would still be at the bottom of the lake, maybe.
yeah, and maybe
that's some dark waters. It's hard to find people in them waters, man.
Oh, it was a nasty day.
Mm-hmm.
It was nice, but it turned nasty.
Yeah, man, that's a brutal deal.
But the fella that wrote the article, he's they kind of made me look like some kind of superhero or something, but he did a good job with the article. But I don't know. When I first read it, I was almost embarrassed because it's like I'm not some superhuman or anything. I just did what I did.
I gotta flip around a little bit. Like, is this about me? Is this my story?
Yeah.
Like, wait a minute.
Who is this guy? That's Superman.
Yeah.
No, I was just a guy in a John boat.
Yeah, I mean, but it's awesome, and so many people are helping each other out there in the woods, and out in the duck blind and on the water, and I mean, even that guy in the Lund coming by, like he didn't even think about it twice. He, saw that guy floating off and went and snagged him out.
Absolutely, and there's so many stories untold of that happening with sportsmen out in the woods, whether a guy, trips and catches an arrow and cuts his femoral artery, and somebody, a fellow sportsman save his life, or the guy suffers an accidental gunshot wound. That stuff happens, and their stories aren't told, but they're out there. But you do read magazines every year. In some magazine, outdoor magazine, you'll read a story of something like that happening where,
Yeah, like Field and Stream, like my buddy Travis.
Yeah, guys it's just fortunate they're there to help each other.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think as sportsmen, we all acknowledge it, and it's not like anything new. You're like, that's a cool story. You still appreciate it, and you get that feeling of like camaraderie, but it's like we're, one big family as outdoorsmen, like we all appreciate the public land and the opportunity to go out and try to harvest something, like that's why I wanted you to share that story, Dad. And like, that's, like we're talking, and, pretty much every Thanksgiving I'm hunting with my father-in-law, one of your best buddies, Rick. We're usually chasing pheasants around, and then Caleb and you were talking about chasing some quail around, so it's part of the holiday tradition for us. It
is.
Yeah, we got. Oh, go ahead, Pops.
You just brought it to my mind. It made me think of it. It's like how people help each other in dire need out in the wild, and so many times I'll be out hunting and I'm not a spring chicken anymore, and I get to thinking I got to really watch what I'm doing, because if I screw up, nobody's going to find me. They'll find a skeleton,
Yeah.
And somebody's going to get a nice bow or a nice rifle.
Yeah, it'd be like a Jeremiah Johnson.
Like a hatchet jack.
Yeah. Is that what he finds?
Hatchet jack.
Yeah, and his Hawken gun, is that what
he was carrying around a 30 cal, and he really wanted a 50 cal. Hatchet jack had one.
That's what it is, yeah. Well, especially elk hunting, you can get out there in the deep. I think most of us got to remind ourselves when we get too far back in, like, I don't know if I really want to shoot an elk back here, because it's going to take me a long time to get this sucker out.
Oh, exactly.
And several trips.
And look how how rugged the countryside is. You trip and you get your leg between two deadfalls or a couple of rocks, and you snap your leg. Man, you just went from hunting to fighting for your life.
Well, this guy blowing his ACL out on a hunt. Wasn't it your ACL?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I blew it out pretty good. It was, not a big story, but me and our buddy Forrest Luton, we were out, and he took me to some landlocked public land that he had access to, and I was I was in vet school, and I'd been jonesing to hunt. I had 1 week, so I hustled back from vet school. We went out. I was just so gung-ho, and I hadn't worn hunting boots or carried a pack in like 3 years. And we got into some elk, and we were chasing them, trying to head them off. And I just remember thinking, man, I miss this so much. This is so fun.
It's great.
I love doing this. And we were hammering down this little rocky ridge, going really hard, big loaded pack, my gun. It was Dad's gun, actually. And we were rolling down, and I was just thinking, this is awesome. And then I tripped and tried to catch myself, and I just felt my leg hyperextend, and I just knew right away. And I went, just head over heels. My head was bleeding. The gun went flying. Forrest looks back, and I was like, dude, I just tore my ACL. And he goes, what's that? I was like, it's not good. Just keep going. I was like, you get him. Go keep going. And I got up, and I was like, and we're 5 miles in. Oh. And I was like, oh, man, this is not good. And I tried putting weight on it, and it was just wobbly, and I knew it was bad, and blood's rushing down. I remember I was in shock, and I looked up. I saw this gnarly dead fall, and I was like, there's an elk over there for us. And he's like, what? And no, that was just
just kidding.
Yeah, just kidding.
In the spirit world, man.
I was in the spirit world for sure.
Goes from the best of your life to the worst of your life. Just
Literally
instantly.
instantly, and we were 5 miles back, and yeah.
But it's also like, I mean, but that could happen though, even when you're not in shock, like when you're horn hunting, and you're like, oh, there's one. And
Yeah,
you're like, damn stick.
Yeah, the old elk log. Or
Yeah, how many elk bushes I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like that's definitely an elk. No, it's definitely not.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a brutal hike out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was tough.
What happened to your radio voice? Weren't you and Caleb practicing before I got
Yeah,
here?
I lost it. Caleb's got the scratchy radio voice. It's got to be the microphone for sure.
Yeah, clear things
You
up.
got me the wrong one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, it was good. It was an experience, and learned a lot from it. And yeah, it just shows you got to be prepared when you go out in the woods, especially out in the wilderness like that. And when you're 5 miles in, you got to think about that stuff, like Pops was saying,
Dude,
It's no joke.
simple stuff. Have your first aid, like simple, man.
Yeah.
Have a first aid kit,
Yeah.
simple one with you. In our rigs, but yeah, in your rig, that's fine. But when the rig's down there and it's a speck down from the ridge line, have a little something with you, or take a course like Dad just talked about.
Yeah.
Our grandparents being first aid instructors. Just go to a course. The fire department does it. I'm sure Forest Service, everybody. Go to the hospital, take a little wildland first aid course, and know how to run a splint with a couple of sticks. Or
100%.
what can you find? What can I do to stop this bleed right now
Yeah.
and stabilize this person? Just get them stable, and then we'll take the next step.
Yeah.
Let's get stable first, and then we'll go on the next. So anyway, just a little hint for all you listeners out there, especially you young hunters.
Yeah.
There's
For
a
real.
lot of people that are getting excited about being out in the woods and going out and hunting, and that's just my little tip for everybody, because we've all experienced being in some weird spots. You might have to
Weather
do some
changes or whatever.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Be prepared.
And being able to do a tourniquet is huge to have. Like Dad was talking with the femoral artery. Like the only thing that's going to save you there is a good tourniquet.
Man. Yeah.
Like,
Stop the bleed.
yeah.
Yeah,
And,
and you realize, like, my first aid kit, you check your first aid. Yeah, everybody keeps one in their pack, but
Yep.
a lot of times they're old and out of date, and nothing works in there. You
Check
gotta-
your stuff, man.
Yeah, put.
Mouse is living in there.
Yeah.
100%.
Hang
Hard
on.
to put a tourniquet on when a mouse ate it.
Yeah.
But we're lucky to, live through those things and be able to understand and learn from it, and you can't just rely on your physical fitness either. I learned that the hard way too,
Yeah, and a good group around here, and I think they're available in most of Montana, but for sure the Missoula area is Aries Wilderness First Aid. That's a great group of folks. They
Perfect.
usually come in and do a course for the Forest Service, especially when I was jumping, and just full of knowledge, man. Great folks, and more like out back in the woods, first aid, tips and stuff. They definitely tourniquet and figuring out how to make a splint out of just what you got around you. Great folks at Aries. If you guys get a chance to check them out. Shoot, I forgot to say before we got to talking, Pops, like this is the old home away from home. It's been a while since you've been in the old Airstream.
Yeah. First time I was ever in this is when your great grandma and grandpa owned it.
Yeah. Almost brand new then, hey?
It was. I think he drove to Ohio to get it, but
I didn't hear that.
yeah, this thing brings back so many good memories, and yeah, it's neat to be back in it. I mean, it's weird. It still smells the same, but it puts a smile on my face just the smell of the inside of this thing. It's very interesting.
Yeah, it's kind of wild, especially like all the stuff that we've done to it, and like I even hit with the old ozone machine a few times just to make sure everything's dead, and like it'll knock like that kind of old the trailer smell out of it, the Airstream smell out of it, and then it comes right back. But it's not like you said, it's not a bad smell. It just smells like the Airstream,
Yeah, it's
Nostalgia.
yeah, and it was fun to help you fix it back up. Whatever, we did a lot of stuff, and
Man.
I think the funnest part was pulling all those dead starlings out from underneath the refrigerator.
Oh yeah, I'm just peeking at him like, man, that doesn't look like just dust.
No, some were bones.
Yeah.
Some still had feathers on them.
Yeah, some little mummified like.
But it's like you never know what you might find.
Oh yeah, but then the fridge still worked. The
Yeah.
original fridge still works.
And you said you got the furnace going again.
Yeah, Caleb helped me out with that. We got it going again, and yeah, furnace works great.
It's ready to rock.
Yeah, it almost works
yeah.
too good. I don't even have it on because this thing's so well insulated that we didn't need it today. But man, it'll sweat you out. it cranks up real quick and then it gets down to temperature.
Yeah, these things remind me of a jet fuselage, an aircraft fuselage.
Absolutely, especially the rivets.
They're sealed up tight.
Oh,
yeah, it goes down the road nice. I can pull it with my half-ton Chevy and no problems, and stops nice too. And it's got shocks like we were talking before. I didn't realize that most trailers don't because I only really had this thing,
I know Grandma and Grandpa would be proud that you're still using it.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
cool. Still going, man.
Still going, yeah.
Still in the fam.
Pretty much original too, which is amazing,
Yeah, that's a fact.
Yeah, nothing really changed in this sucker.
Even the cushions right here.
Yeah, even the old cushions.
Still comfy.
Oh, and then even hunting the backcountry too. Another thing I was thinking of right before I got us off topic there, but when I was taking my for foresters, you got to take everything. So I had to take defensive horsemen or something, even though we grew up with horses. And the guy putting it on was great. He'd give me a hard time about struggling with opening the gate while in the saddle, and he just can't do the two things at once: chewing bubble gum and rubbing your stomach or whatever. walking. Yeah, but he brought up a good thing in that class. He's like, you really got to make sure you keeping track of your horses or your stock, as if you don't have them tied up good at night or was it hobbled, like what they do, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And you don't have them hobbled up or whatever, or even that little electric fence up. He's like, he's ran into a few folks that were walking themselves out way bit deep in the bob, and they're dropping stuff as they're going because they're just getting too heavy, and their horses had left them. And one time that fellow for the Forest Service, he was saying that he actually had them hooked up to his saddle like a pack string, bringing it. Well, it was a pack string, but it was the other dudes, trying to find the guy who was back there hunting. And luckily, he found him. But that's a long walk from the middle of the bob.
Oh yeah, and I think that the worst thing about that is when you get back to your rig, your horses are there waiting for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
They
true.
know the way home.
Yeah.
They go right to the trailer. It's like, I'm supposed to be on you when you go back to the trailer.
Yeah, well, it's like our good buddy Richard. Have a few too many at the bar.
Yeah.
As long as he get himself in the saddle, he'd make it home.
Designated driver.
Designated driver. You wake up at the hitching rig.
Yeah,
Unless they rub you off on a tree or
As
something.
long as you don't kiss a tree bough on the way out.
Yeah. Like poor Carl.
Oh, I got him, huh?
But those accidents that happen out there, nobody ever thinks of it. Like you guys were talking about the having a first aid kit or anything with you. Zach, being a veterinarian, you could stitch yourself up, but
Just having
the
a vet with
average
you.
Joe can't do it.
Yeah.
But it's nobody goes out in the woods thinking that something bad is going to happen.
Yeah, that's the mistake, isn't it?
Yeah, and you better be kind of mentally prepared, to deal with it. What do you do? It's
Totally. Well, even if you have to put an animal down, that's a hard thing to do too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's what you don't think of. Nobody, and rightly so, nobody thinks that if I go hunting, something bad might happen to me. But you got to be prepared because it might.
No, you're thinking about something like 7 or 8, tines on their head, on one side at
He's
least.
thinking about a good time.
Yeah,
If you thought
yeah.
about all the bad stuff, you wouldn't go.
Like 300 something plus bull just out there, waiting on me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
As you trip over a rock and you snap your leg and the bone sticking out.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, exactly.
I'm thinking about that bull.
I don't want to discourage anybody from hunting, but
No, but yeah, you're right. Yeah, got to plan for the worst, hope for the best. That's a mindset.
Boy Scout motto.
Yes.
Be prepared.
and that's why it's best to hunt with a buddy. I mean, because like we were just saying, you snap your leg, you cut your femur or something, you're not getting out of there by yourself.
Yeah, buddy system.
Yeah, and if you don't have a buddy to go get help or help you, you're in a world of hurt.
Oh man, absolutely.
You're in big trouble.
Yeah. Well, didn't you have one time on our beautiful one-eyed horse?
Yeah,
Lucky.
His name was Lucky.
Yeah. Didn't he? He was having trouble. He didn't want to go over a bridge or something. You guys came off an embankment and got a T-post through, right?
Yeah, we didn't go over the bridge. We went off the bridge.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
He could only see one side, and he didn't like what he saw there, so he started backing up, and his back end, was going to the side that he couldn't see, which was no better than the other side. I probably should have just tried to put the boots to him and drive him forward.
Yeah.
But the smart thing would have done is walk him across the bridge, because he'd have followed me just fine, had no problem. But when his one leg slipped off of that bridge, it was like slow motion. We're going down. I'm like, one of us is going to die.
Yeah, and he was huge.
Yeah, but we made it out alive. I was just upset that I was just soaking wet, and we were 9 miles from the truck.
Yeah, that's.
I was dry by the time we got back.
Yeah, like upside, little silver lining.
Saddle and everything. I remember Caleb here. The horse's leg was stuck in the logs of the bridge, and I was climbing up there to get his foot dislodged, and wasn't thinking the minute I got his foot dislodged, he's going to want to get back on his feet. And how a horse gets up off his side, he throws his head first. Well, he threw his head and smacked me in the head. My good old cowboy hat went flying and floating down the creek. And Caleb was just yelling at me to get the heck away from him. And I was trying. I was digging for all the mud I can get. And crawled up, and then Caleb got a hold of the horse and led him up, tied him to a tree, and I'm just standing there. My sweatshirt was down to my knees. I had to lay on my back and stick my feet in the air to get the water out of my cowboy boots. But it's one of those things that didn't expect to happen, but it did, and fortunately, nothing came of it. I mean,
Yeah.
we were all right, but it could have been ugly.
Oh man.
Take that T-post through your ribs.
Ooh,
Yeah, not quick, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the T-post was right next to you, right when you hit.
Oh, we just missed it. I saw it as we were going down off the bridge. I'm like, oh no, we're gonna die.
Yeah.
One of us is gonna die. But we missed it. But that could have been really ugly.
Did you ever recover the hat, or was it gone forever?
I got it.
Still hanging on the wall.
Still on the wall.
Hanging in the house.
You got it.
It looks like some rats have been chewing it.
Oh,
That hat,
It's beat up.
that went through way many rides after that. That went down the road a
getting
long
warmed
time.
up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was just breaking her in.
spent more time in the saddle than me. That hat.
It literally just started rotting off my head. So
That's when you know you got a good hat.
I retired it.
Time for a new hat.
Yeah.
Well, that horse was huge with the legs in that sucker, man. He had to have a little bit of draft or something in him, huh?
Yeah, look, he was across.
Oh, he was. He was
Yeah.
crossed with draft.
Yeah.
Him
Man,
and he was huge.
There's a
great horse, though.
couple out of that string that our friend Carl had. That
Was it red or something? The other giant one.
big red.
Man, that thing was huge too.
They were just they're all 16.2, good size.
Especially as a little kid. I remember I was like, spent a lot of time on Lucky when I was real little, and I just felt like you were so far up there,
Yeah. He was stout-legged and stuff too, like you said. Just because that draft cross, he real big boned and big face and that, so he just kind of had that kind of prehistoric sort of look to him.
He did, man. Kind of like a dinosaur.
Yeah, he's a big old boy.
Well, and then for you taking more of the bridge, I don't remember having any issues, and he's so bulletproof. I'd done the same thing. I'm like, Lucky's just gonna cruise across because that's what he does,
Yeah, you could count on him. We kind of called him a babysitter. You could put any greenhorn on him, and he would take care of him. You just tell the guy. He says, "Well, what do I got to do? Nothing. Just sit in the saddle."
Yep.
He'll follow all the other horses, and yeah, he was rock solid. He would pack anything,
Oh yeah.
but he didn't like seeing a dead animal. If you got an elk or a deer down, he didn't want nothing to do with that. He wanted to go back to the trailer, so you took him out of sight of it, tied him to a tree, and then you dismantle the animal, and he was fine. You could load him up with it, but
If he saw it laying there,
when he
wanna
saw
see
it
it
laying,
whole.
yeah, he's probably like, "Well, that could happen to me or something." But yeah,
what's going on here?
Yeah, I rode him up on that elk one time, and oh boy, the rodeo was on. He didn't want nothing to do with that. He wanted to go home.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, that doesn't look good. He says.
Oh, remember that one time we were going on a ride? It might have been going up hunting, and it got all of a sudden those little squalls came up and it was blowing snow sideways, and I had my jacket on, kind of tucked in the, behind the saddle there, and I just like not thinking, and it was on his good side. If I would have been on his blind side, he would have been fine. He wouldn't even noticed it. But I ripped my jacket off on his good side so you could see it. It just flapped up, and it it was kind of bright colored, and oh, he hated it. So I only had time to just grab the rein and the horns, and he started doing some hot laps, and then you and Carl started yelling, "Drop the coat!" And I just let it go, and all of a sudden he stopped.
Yeah, wasn't that amazing? I mean,
Yeah, just like that.
you get rid of what's bothering him, and he's fine then. He just shut down instantly.
And I was like, "Oh shit!" And I didn't know what the problem was because I wasn't thinking. I was
Just
like,
trying to hold on.
Yeah, I was like, "Oh no, I'm about to get ejected off this tall horse." Yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah.
Well, Prime's probably getting about close to.
Prime's there. Just got the text.
Prime's
Oh, did
almost
you?
done.
Yep,
Oh.
it's on the rest right now, so perfect timing.
Oh man, that worked out great.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, Pops, thanks for coming on and joining us, man.
Oh,
Appreciate
you're
it.
welcome. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was great, man. I always want to share that story, especially, I gave a little teaser on it, but wasn't there, so I couldn't tell it as good as you. So I was really hoping to get you on one of these days to tell the story of how it went and kind of fill in the gap for the listeners.
Yeah, it was a long time ago, but it's something that's burned in your memory.
Yeah.
Because that could have gone south for me too, but
Yeah,
it worked out. I guess I'm lucky. Most of those predicaments I've been in, they worked out because I'm still here.
yeah,
That's right.
Well, not getting too much in a hurry, right? That's what they always tell us in all
Think
our
your way out of
classes.
it.
Yeah, man.
Think your way out. Pause and think your way out of it.
Could easily capsize that boat if you didn't get those guys on the other side, to counterbalance and.
Yeah, and get your weight centered in the bottom of in the belly of that boat. Yeah, I was sure wishing I had more horsepower though.
Oh, I bet.
The old silencer.
Yeah.
Silencer deluxe.
Yeah.
It almost got silenced.
Oh, yeah, man.
Super silent 6, but it was super that day. It got us
Yeah,
home safe.
it was super.
Yeah,
It really was.
And you probably spent enough time in the canoe to have some guys like, hey, what's this? And then, capsize the canoe. So.
That's how you learn all that stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Start up a canoe.
The most times I tipped over a canoe, I was running trap line, and I was usually busting ice, so it wasn't fun. You hit that water, and you come out of it fast, like a penguin up on an iceberg.
Yeah. Oh, thanks again, fellas. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Merry Christmas to everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.
Stay safe.
Yeah, stay safe.